Imagine you're walking the streets of Athens, you look up and you see a massive plane about to crash into the Parthenon. Well, August 9, 1978, that's exactly what happened. An Olympic Airways Boeing 747 took off from the Ellinikon airport. The plane was filled with Americans finishing up their Greek holiday and heading back to New York City. The pilot was Sifis Migadis, who was a seasoned professional with 32 years of flying experience. And as soon as the plane lifted off the ground at Ellinikon airport, the next 93 seconds would be the most intense of his career. With 418 people on board, Sifis had to put in some serious work to make sure that this flight did not crash into the center of Athens. The plane took off, and as soon as it took off, an explosion was heard from the right engine. With some quick thinking, Migadis realized he could not stop the flight, so they had to continue to take off and get as much elevation as possible. The Boeing 747 was struggling to get enough thrust to clear the city of Athens and get over the mountains on the west side of the city. The first obstacle was the hill at Alimos. The flight engineer immediately turned off the water injection system, which meant the plane lost 4,500 pounds of thrust. Migadis continued to fly the plane just 209 meters above the city. Alarms at the airport went crazy, and the plane was flying just a couple hundred meters above Kalithea near Smyrna, almost scratching the top of the Inter-American building on Sigur Avenue. At this point, the plane was just 55 meters above ground. Luckily, at the last second, there was a light breeze which allowed the plane to get a bit of air, and the dumping of the water gave it a bit more thrust and just allowed them to turn slightly left before it would have crashed into Mount Egaleo. The pilot then maneuvered the plane, brought it back around through Piraeus, and it was very low, but he landed it back at Ellinikon, and most of the passengers didn't even realize anything had happened. And the craziest thing is, like 2-3 hours after this happened, he got on another plane, a replacement aircraft, I took all the passengers to New York. He's like, εντάξει ρε, τέλειωσε και αυτό, πάμε Νέα Υόρκη. What? Take a break there. Have a smoke a cigarette.